But yeah, I will record it. This will be recorded. Let's see. I still can't get this part. Why should we take a look at the harmonic scanner while we can go for the trading view from the scratch? Can you explain more? Um, so yeah, the question is simply why do we look at the harmonic scanner? Um, because it's like the way that the harmonic scanner was explained to me was you literally have an exclusive seat right next to the smartest kid in the class, and you're about to take a test that you didn't study for and you don't even know anything about the subject of the test. You can simply glance over at the student's paper, look at all the answers, and just copy it for yourself. That's essentially the harmonic scanner. That's what it does for you. It forecasts these high probability trade setups going down in the market using complex Fibonacci ratios and patterns. And the reason why we look at it is because it's giving us a forecast, right? Like let's say we look at the weather and it's gonna tell us, oh, it's gonna rain on Tuesday, right? Um, and we go out and we wear like shorts and a t-shirt when we should have been wearing uh, rain jackets and stuff and rain boots. So it gives you a forecast. You do not have to look at the harmonic scanner. Like nobody's making you look at it, but simply having that added confirmation and that added confluence between all of your tools is highly recommended. So, but again, it's not like mandatory that you have to look at it. Sure, I could just look at this pair and see a ceiling and see a floor and mark it up and do it like that. But again, if there's no harmonic pattern called on this pair, um, see, like, look at this. Here, I'll give you an example. So this is USD JPY. This is exactly what the harmonic scan looks like on the harmonic scanner, right? Now, if we take away the ceiling and we take away the floor, we basically take away everything. What are we looking at here? We're looking at a huge area of consolidation right here. We're looking at a huge area of consolidation here. So again, the strategy can still apply, but this is why we have the added confluence of a scan, entry, stop loss, and then take profit one, take profit two, and then take profit three. Because what I look at is potential. So I see this scan and I see it's calling it for a buy. So when I see that, I see a ceiling. If I see the floor or the ceiling break, if it breaks the ceiling, goes back into the ceiling, creates a new floor, and starts moving forward or moving upwards. And like you see that green candle, I'm entering. If you feel confident, just take it. Just like Chris says, it's simple. Don't complicate it, right? So if we were to enter and of course we capture our 30 pips because we're twin trading as the rules say. And check this out, 200 and 75 pips potential if we complete the entire pattern to this. I'm looking at this area over here because this is the highest high that we were previously coming from. So what the scanner is doing is essentially it's creating um, trend reversals. It's like it's forecasting trend reversals. So it's been a continual downtrend, did some consolidation, and now we might see a break, a retest, and a huge shift to the upside. This would be a shift in momentum, right? Because look, let's see. Just for a quick example. So the floor broke the floor, became a ceiling. Floor broke the floor, became a ceiling. Floor broke the floor, became a ceiling. Ceiling, floor did not become a ceiling, but the ceiling previously broke and became a new floor. And then that's where the shift of momentum pretty much takes place. But all of this in here was making these specific ratios. Do you see these numbers? 0, 5, 6, 8, 8, 9, 7. Like these aren't extremely accurate because I didn't snap it to the actual candles and stuff. But this overall idea of the scan is to give you higher probability trade setups. So more than likely, this pair is going to do a move to the upside. It's not saying to just, okay, yeah, like it's a buy on the harmonic scanner. Go ahead and click buy. Just do it. Just go. No, it's not saying that. It's saying, hey, psst, look at this currency pair, USD JPY. We predict that it's going to be a buy and it's going to move towards the upside. What you do as a trader is you trap price. You go, ceiling, floor, wait for a break and retest. Because what happens if it goes down? It does a break and retest and goes down for 50 pips. Then we have an even better chance of getting in down here for a break and retest of that side and catching even more pips on the way up. Just because the scan is wrong doesn't mean the trade is invalid. A lot of times we get kind of caught up in chasing trades and chasing like that perfect trade. Like, oh yeah, like you guys saw GJ last week, right? Like break retest, this was perfect. I got entries in here. It was almost 300 pips. Like this was great. Like it's not always going to happen like that. Yeah, 230 pips. If you took this, even up here, there was an entry too. Break retest. So chasing that perfect trade, chasing that perfect, break and retest. I mean, yeah, you can get caught up in that sometimes. So understanding like the disciplines and just following the actual rules. Where are the rules? Rules. The scanner's calling a buy. You wait for a break of the resistance or a ceiling. You wait for a retest when price closes above the previous level of resistance. And then once price confirms resistance as a new floor, like confirms the ceiling as a floor, it's safe to enter. So if you see a ceiling get broke and looks like it's becoming a new floor, that's when you enter. You press buy. You just take the trade. If you're risking 2 to 3%, as it says in the rules here, where you have either if you have $100 in your account, you're using 0.01, $400, 0.04, so on and so forth. You have 1,000, you're using 0.10, and then so on and so forth. You have 10,000, you're using 1.00. If you have 100,000, you're using 10 standards. So it's just like keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. Does that make sense, everyone? I hope that makes sense. Oh, wait. Okay. So let's continue on. I hope that makes sense. So, yeah. Okay, good. On to the next one. This one, again, this is pretty much the same thing that we're looking at. We want to see a break of the ceiling, a close above. We want to see a retest into that previous ceiling as a new floor, and then that's basically where we would take our entry for a buy position. Um, I'm not predicting this to happen. I'm not saying like this is exactly what's going to happen. I'm saying this is one of the options that could happen. I'm saying like price either moves up or it moves down. Like price only moves in two directions, up or down. It can't go side like yeah, I get it. It can go sideways, but it's moving up and down as it's going sideways. So it truly is so simple. It truly is groundbreaking when you can understand like you can capitalize on both sides of the coin, right? That's powerful. Let's see. Is Hot Forex a good broker? Um, I'm not gonna speak to any broker recommendations to stay FTC compliant. I personally I've used Hugo's Way and I've also used Vantage. So again, I'm not making any recommendations. I can say what I personally use, but I'm not making any recommendations as to what broker you use. I don't have any experience with Hot Forex, so I can't really speak on that. Um, if anybody has any additional points that they want to make about that, sure, you can totally do that. But again, I'm not here to hype up any broker because they don't pay me to say yeah, get invest your money with this broker, invest your money with this broker. I don't get compensated for that. So just to stay compliant, I'm not trying to stray away from any of that. But so for this one, AUD NZD, I would take this down here to the wick and to this body of the candle. Because in order to understand the future, you need to understand the past. So what had happened in the past is we had a solid floor, 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 broke the floor, became a ceiling, and then we had a little bit of a drop. So this area right here, it looks to me as if this is a clean area to have a zone, right? Just because there's all wicks over here doesn't mean that it's not relevant. The reason why these wicks are here in the first place is because this previous zone has been played off of. It's been tapped off of before. So that's why I look to see like this is the highest probability area of a new trade to either happen. Most likely gonna have to put this into a two-part video because we are gonna get cut off at some point simply because of the Zoom. But no worries, no fear. I will go ahead and send a new link into the chats so that way you can just stay with me and watch me mark up the rest of these charts. And don't worry, I will be sending everything into the Telegram as well, so that way you have access to all of these. I really hope more people participate next week in the challenge, where you essentially mark up every single one of your charts and post them in there. You know, we don't have any judgment, we don't have any negativity in there. It's a perfect environment for you to learn, to grow. Um, you know, for any level trader, if you guys have been trading for however long, if you guys have been, you know, just starting off, I want it to be completely conducive to your growth as a trader and as a person. So, and again, if I ever see anything like you know, like bad talking about anybody else's trades or strategy or English or whatever it is, any negative vibes, I'm not gonna tolerate it, because at this point, um, you know, in I guess life in the society the way it is, in just the world right now, it's pretty crazy. So you know, to eliminate a lot of the hatred, negativity, envy, jealousy, all that stuff, I want to, you know, be the catalyst to making this place more positive, right? Somebody asked on the retest, does it have to touch within the zone or barely coast? For the retest, it has to, like, again, back to the rules, right? I'm always going to use a tool to edify. Don't believe what I say, believe what you see, right? These are the official rules from Price Trap. So for example, when price breaks floor, you wait for a retest. Let's say this is a checklist, right? Wait for a break of support, floor, wait for a break of the floor, check. Let's say it broke the floor, check. Okay. Next thing you watch is wait for a retest where price closes below. So okay, price closed below, cool, check, done. Once price confirms support or the floor as a new ceiling or resistance, so once price confirms floor as a new ceiling, then it is safe to enter. So what does it mean to confirm support as a new resistance? What does it mean for the ceiling to become a new floor? Well, I'll show you. This is a perfect example right here to make it extremely simple. This right here, from this candle of this wick to the body of the candle, I drew a zone. Okay. What ended up happening was price broke the floor, it broke through, and it kept going, and then it stopped, and it started to move momentum upwards, and it went eventually back up into this area, the same area that was marked up, right? So watch. If I take this line right here, this line right here, and this line right here, does that not look familiar? Does that not look extremely similar to what I've been drawing up on these charts day in and day out, week after week in the chats? This is exactly what trading is supposed to look like. Now, again, it's not going to be this perfect, but this is ultimately what we are looking for in a trade, right? We have price trapped. So here's like the ceiling, okay, just for visual representation, right? Okay, so price is trapped. Okay, hold on. Just want to make this easier to see. Okay, so watch. This is perfect. So let's say we didn't see any of this. Okay, let's say we didn't see anything to the left of the screen. So what I would do is, this is a ceiling, this is a floor. This is a top, this is a bottom, this is a ceiling box, this is a floor box, whatever you choose to call it. I see price move all the way up to the ceiling again. Cool, it wicks out. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The zone is still accurate over here as well too, as it is over here. Price moves down towards the floor. I see it move up. Okay. All right. Awesome. Oh, look what happened. Next candle. And again, this is all in the 1 hour, by the way, just so you know. I see a red candle go into the zone. I'm like, okay, it looks like it's about to break. And then if we go back to the rules, it says wait for a break of support, wait for a break of floor. Okay. So we're just simply waiting for that break of the floor. What happens? Next candle, still in the zone. Next candle, look at that. Look at that. We see a break. It goes out of the zone. Now, it says in the rules here, where in parentheses, where price closes below the previous level of support. So what that looks like, this is the previous level of support right here. I'll put a circle around it so you guys can see. Okay, that's our support. We want price to close below this support, below this circle. Okay, what ended up happening is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles were all red candles, all bearish candles, all candles going down. And that basically indicates to us as a trader that, hey, this is an open at the top, this is a close on the candle, which means we have a break. We have a confirmed break. Now, what we're simply waiting for now, after we see a confirmed break, is we want to see price confirm support as a new resistance or the floor as a new ceiling. Okay, and then and only then is it safe to enter. Do not complicate this part. Do not complicate this part right here. This is the most fundamental part of almost the entire strategy besides being patient, because that's really what you're doing. Is you're being patient. You're waiting for price to confirm the support as a new ceiling or floor as a new ceiling. So floor breaks through the floor. Now we're waiting. Now we're waiting. And for an example, just to show you how long it takes. So after the break, I will measure, right? So it went 10 hours and until it finally started to retrace up. So that 19 hours it took for it to do a break and a retest. How, I mean, this is patience right here we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Who's going to sit there for 19 hours and stare at their charts and stare at these candles move up and down, up and down, up and down? We see fundamentally price took 18 hours to do a full break, a retracement, and then do a retest up here in the zone, right? Is this making sense? I hope everyone's getting breakthroughs on this, because that's like fundamentally trading the strategy right there. And I hope I'm breaking it down with good language as well. So let's see here. Sorry, I'm not catching up with the questions. On the retest, does it have to touch within the zone? Yeah, so to answer your question, it does have to be in the zone. It does, as per the rules. Always through twins. Yeah, like I think he's asking about twin trading, and yes, we always do twin trade. We take 2 orders on every single trade. Someone asked, can you please explain the retests that don't respect the zone? I saw an example where the retest does not respect the zone, but the next candle comes back into the zone and it's an entry. But does that still count as a retest? It only counts as a retest if the floor becomes a ceiling. It only counts as a retest if the ceiling becomes a floor. That's it. Period. Done. End of story. That's how simple it should be. If you're overthinking it, take a step back, keep the markup up, and just watch price. That's when you learn the most. You don't have to do a trade every single time that price breaks the floor. You don't have to, take a trade every single time that price looks like it's about to do a retest, right? And if you are having some issues, again, like trading on a demo account is highly recommended, because then you can really eliminate all the risk. You can eliminate all the risk and do this for completely free, and just hone in on your skills, hone in on your craft, and understanding how the candles actually like truly move. Okay. Someone asked, I hope that makes sense and kind of covers what that question was all about. Should we do entries on the 15-minute? Yes. not saying that you exclusively have to do it on the 15-minute, but it's recommended that you mark everything up on the 1 hour, and then you take entries on the 30-minute, 15, 5. And sometimes if you want to go crazy, you can even do the one. I don't do it, but you can totally use whatever time frame you feel comfortable most with. Someone said, what if the candles keep touching and consolidating in the zone? When will you know it will break out? Well, you'll know that it breaks out from the fact of like the candles being outside of the zone. Simply put, if the candles are in here, like look at this, I can go to here. Let's go to a lower time frame. Let's say like a 5-minute time frame. Okay. So look, and oh, we see the same setup. So, this is our previous floor. We see price go into the zone, and this is all in 5-minute. So we see price again, floor, come into the floor, and then you're talking about this stuff, right? When price is like in the zone here, kind of like hanging out, doing some weird stuff, like, oh, it went down. Oh, like, is that a break? No, I went back up in. Oh, and I went above. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a buy. It could be a break and a retest to the upside. Then you take a buy position, then you get shut down. So yeah, like you want to take the information from the lower time frame and then compare and contrast to like a higher time frame. So this was 5-minute. Let's go to 15-minute. Same thing. We see price, go into the zone, do some weird candles, and then finally, like this candle right here, I'll show you. This candle right here, it opened right exactly on the zone, and it closed outside of the zone. That would be an indicator like, yes, this is a break. This next candle opened up completely below the zone and closed completely below the zone. So that confirms this candle is like a confirmation of like, yes, this candle right here, the one that I put a circle around. Oh, whoops. This one that I just put a circle around confirms, as per the rules, that it's closing below the previous level of a floor. That's it. This is it right here. That's what it means. Now it's not always going to look like this specifically, but the idea and the concept and the principle is all the same. But once it confirms below, perfect. Then you just kind of wait. As per the rules, go back to the rules. Once it confirms price, once price confirms support is a new resistance, it's safe to enter. So once that previous support becomes a new ceiling, which, again, didn't end up happening until 19 hours later, we see this. Okay, this is on the 15-minute, keep in mind. We see this, right? We see price break, do another retest, and then do the move, another retest, and then finally drop. There's entries in here, right? If you enter off any one of these areas, say you entered here, you get 28 pips. Maybe if you collect that, you collect it. If you don't, whatever, you still got a 2-pip stop profit in place. 2 pips. Didn't look like it got hit. If you entered, let's say, for example, like off this candle right here, you would have had, again, 27 pips. So if you captured it, good. If it didn't hit your 30 pip take profit, that's fine. And then again, if you entered in this area right here, if you see price close, you're like, okay, this is a confirmation that price closed below and confirms the old, you know, um, floor as a new ceiling. Then that's when you pretty much enter. And then this is where you capture your 30 and you have a potential of 62. And then you pretty much like trail. So you see another move, I would put my stop profit right above here, right above this previous structure. Okay. I hope that's all making sense. Hope you guys are getting this. And then on the 1 hour, this is what it looks like. All right, same thing. I just wanted to make this super, super easy because, yeah, like when this is great. I hope everyone's like getting this too. And I'm so glad I actually recorded this. Thank you, because this is like key information right here. Do you always look for the close and retest of price on H1? No, we always, yeah, like everything, we mark everything up. Like we put the zones on the 1 hour, and then that's when you drop down to the 15, 30-minute, 5-minute to take your entries and pretty much look at it. So Yeah, we didn't really get that many pairs done right now. Here, I'm going to show you. Yeah, we got 4 pairs done, and only in the A's. We still have all the rest of them to go. So I'm going to go ahead and send another link. I'm going to make this a 2-part video, and then the next video is just going to be simply geared towards like marking up the rest of the charts. So thank you guys once again for jumping on. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I might have to wait for the recording to load before I send out a new link, so please be patient. And I'll see you guys on the next video.